Everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show, Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show series. So great to have you guys here watching from all around the world. Take a look at your screen. We have a familiar guest, a friend of our show joining us, and we have a rock star joining us from television, film, and so much more. Rob Estes is joining us as well. Hey, gang, welcome to the show. It's a real pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, Jim. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well, Rob. And Michelle, you have been a wonderful guest on our show before. We chatted about your illustrious career as an acclaimed actress and producer, director, a renowned acting coach and author. And you have teamed up with Rob and so many other incredible talents. Rob, of course, a tour de force when it comes to acting and performance and television and stage and film. And we are very honored to have Rob here for the very first time. I know a lot of viewers have actually asked for Rob, and you will remember Rob from so many great shows, of course, Days of Our Lives and Silk Stalkings. Yes, remember Silk? That was a terrific franchise. Absolutely. 90210. Remember again, we're bringing back some memories for you as well. And Melrose Place, another fantastic one. Everybody, this is all appointment television, of course, gang, remember? And here's another great shot, CSI Miami, Rob in that as well. You've seen him on television, you've seen him in film, you've seen him everywhere. And even recent productions as well, Beautiful Wedding and so much more. But he got together for some meatballs and pasta and lots more. Absolutely, with the Italians. Now, this is very exciting. When I heard about it, I said, oh, I'd love to have Michelle on to talk about it. I mean, this is her baby and she's in it as well. And we'll have an opportunity to share all these great stories. But Michelle, tell us about what was the inspiration for the Italians, and congratulations on it as well.
Thank you. I'm really, really happy that we got this movie made. Because, you know, not every movie you want to make gets made, but we got a chance to do this one. The inspiration was really my roots, my blood memory, the fact that I come from an Italian mother. And so I really understood that whole, Italian-American, world. And I know for myself, I always said that I could never bring anybody home to my mother because nobody was ever going to be good enough for her.
And was there a lot of good food in the house too?
Yeah, but my mother cooked like early in the day. She just cooked everything by noon. And then that was it. We had all the food. Yes, no, my mother would cook some great, Italian recipes, which, by the way, we're putting a recipe book together with all these authentic Italian recipes passed down from generation. But she loved to cook spaghetti bolognese, and she loved to cook, all kinds of things. She was a wonderful cook.
That's amazing. I was on a TV shoot with my work with PBS, and we went to Venice, which was really nice. And it was interesting, all the different courses that they present, and the salad usually comes last, as opposed to here in the States, we're used to the salad first. And then there was this, you do not mix cheese with seafood, right?
No. As a matter of fact, when you're having a pasta dish, with seafood at an Italian restaurant, and they come with the grated cheese, it's, the real Italian will go, you're crazy. There's no way.
You're crazy. But I heard you make a pretty mean shrimp parmesan.
I do. That's not a recipe that is accepted by you.
Right. It's not the official, but if you go over to her house and she has it, enjoy.
That's my favorite. My favorite is shrimp parmesan. I love to do that recipe.
Oh, and you like eggplant too, right? I heard
eggplant as well. Yeah,
that's a good one. Rob, I had heard also that you had to enjoy and devour lots of meatballs for this role.
I think my last count was 75 meatballs. It's a lot of meatballs.
I was going to say,
they were good. They were excellent.
They were good. Do you cook?
I do cook. I cook a lot of shrimp. I barbecue it. I do most of my stuff on the barbecue.
Yeah.
And I think, it's funny because in the movie Vincenzo, I don't think Vincenzo cooks. I don't think he has any clue what to do in the kitchen. He just lets Angelina, Michelle, do all the cooking, and he could not be happier. So he and I share a little bit of a similarity. And I'm a pig. I love food.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. That's amazing. So when you were devising this, Michelle, tell us a little bit about it and what people can expect. Because I know there's been so much fanfare and positive feedback about the Italians. I think it's really terrific. There's a lot of humor in it. I mean, it's so well done.
Yeah, there has been. I mean, I think that a lot of people have said throughout the year of the festival circuit that we were on that the movie was, just a wonderful movie for our time right now because it's light and it's funny. It does have a twist. It has a surprise in it that people don't see coming, and that gives it some depth. But mostly, I think, it's a movie that a whole family can watch together and they can laugh. And they can be moved. And of course, they can go and cook afterwards if they want to. A lot of people have told me that just the movie makes them hungry. So,
yeah.
But I think it's a movie about family and, not holding on to grudges. And if you hold on to grudges, there's a price to pay. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, life's too short. So you have to forgive. And, and I wanted to send that, I wanted to tell that story and about how the people that we love are always with us no matter what.
So very, very true. So you hold true to some of the values and the traditions, and you celebrate them, and you've added in that touch of humor. And Rob, tell us about, like I showed, that little preview in the beginning is just a slice of your extraordinary and continuing career in television and film. And you've really made your mark. And when this project came your way, tell us about how you were excited to be involved in it and how it actually developed for you, Rob.
Well, it's interesting. It's kind of a 32-year development because Michelle and I have worked together for about 30 some odd years, 33. We did Tennessee Williams' Roast Tattoo, and I played Mangiacavallo, an Italian. And it was the plays about Italian immigrants that come to America. And Michelle played Serafina. It's a huge role. And we did it in Hollywood. We won a lot of awards. It ran for 9 months, I believe. And we just really got an affinity for working with each other. And then Michelle, because Michelle she never sits still. She's always, she actually produced that play as well as starring in it. And she started doing films. And she was kind enough to cast me in a couple of them. And she just kept building her career. And when she reached out with this script, I read it. And it's rare that you read a script and right away, what you want to do with it. And with this one, come hell or high water, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. And Michelle was kind enough to go, all right, go for it. Do what you want. And Vincenzo's he's a big energy. He's a big guy. I think he's got a huge heart. And I think that's what redeems the character, Vincenzo, by the end of the film. Because you kind of look at, not to judge a character, but Vincenzo's just kind of, letting Angelina do everything and following and not making a big mark in life. And by the end of the film, I feel like he becomes very thankful for what he has. And family and love are at the top of his list. And I think the other thing about the film is it's got food. If we can make you laugh and make you cry and make you want to run out and grab some meatballs and eat, I think it's successful. And that's what I felt after the movie.
That's really terrific. When you decided to have, and as Rob just said, lovingly, this wonderful friendship and respectful relationship that you have together all these 37 years. I'm sure that went by in a New York minute. When you thought of Rob right away for this, didn't you, Michelle?
I did. Yeah, absolutely. He was the first person that came up. And I thought to myself, I have to ask him. But at the time, I had to track him down a little bit. And so I did, and we had the lunch, and I was so glad that he wanted to do it, really.
When you put it all together, it just, like you said, there's something you said in the beginning that we really could use something like this right now. Times are a little interesting, and we do need things that make us feel grounded, feel good, feel happy, feel joy, family, love, the things in life that really matter most. And that is a key mission and vision within this project, right?
I've always been attracted to stories that are dark and heavy, and that's a fact. As a matter of fact, I've gotten a lot of slack for that from my family. Thus, when they offered me to direct this movie called Miranda's Victim, about the Miranda rights, about this rape, I was like, oh yeah, this is totally right up my alley. How did they know that this was my thing? But the truth of the matter is that I also like the other stuff. I really like the lighter things, and I'm constantly watching. I balance it out between two things. I went to see Sinners in the movie theater, and that was heavy. And but then I also go to see Hard Eyes, which is fun and light and also a little gruesome because it's horror. But I just like different genres, but I do think that for the times today, it's really important that we have a lot of fun stuff to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Things are so divisive. And in this film, it's interesting because Michelle's character, Angelina, she is divisive, right? She is, it's black and white. But through family, through heart, by the end of the movie, not to give it away, but her arc, she's really grown. She's realized that, we all can see the other side just a little bit, right? And if you can see the other side a little bit, and then you can see the other side and listen and have a good spirit about it, things move. And, I think with this film, one of the, that's one of the wins in it, is I think it really captured that. Because Angelina's so harsh in the beginning, she's going to have people sleeping with the fishes. And then by the end of it, she's flipped everything, and it's great.
Yeah, the ability to forgive, the ability to, life's too short to hang on to it. And so I think that's a great message. It's a great, especially in families, when I teach acting and we do these family scenes, I always tell, actors, characters have emotional scores to settle. And so, there's always an emotional score to settle in a family. But when you're able to rise above it and let go of all of those scores, and, I think to me, it's a great message to send.
It really is in every aspect of life. And when did you have the initial inspiration for the idea, and how long was the process of getting everybody together and, the production, creation, and all of it to get it to be exactly where you were happy enough to then release it for all of us to enjoy? What was the whole process like?
Well, it took a while. I think when people look, they think that we get it done like that, and it looks like that, but it's not like that. Even now, I'm in prep for another movie I'm about to shoot, and that's the process. You just have to be able to embrace process in this line of work. And sometimes it's very frustrating. I'm very frustrated by process, but also exhilarated by it. And so Lisa Filipvitska had written a play, which was called The Italians. And I read it and I thought, wow, this has a lot of heart. And of course, like I said, my blood memory kicked in. We did a reading of it at the theaters that I used to be the artistic director of. And the reading went well. It was fun. And then I said to her, we need to write the screenplay. Let's shoot this. And so she did. And then, I got in there and of course did, what directors do, which is turn it upside down and do a shooting script. That was fun. And it went through, a million drafts to really find the right balance of what needed to be said in the story. And then, then we started to think of cast. Well, Rob was always in my mind anyway. He was always the image that came up for me. And then the rest of it fell into place. I had done this movie with Abigail Breslin. I knew of Matthew Daddario, Eleni Kazan, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Perry Reeves, because, Mrs. Ari, Entourage. I had seen, my son has me watch every horror TV show and movie you can imagine. So I watched them all. So I had watched the Channel Zero, and Olivia Luccardi was the lead in one of the seasons. And I didn't know I was ever going to work with her, but immediately I thought, watching her work, she's a wonderful actress. So
she did a great job.
Yeah, she did that laugh. She's really funny. I remember when she came on set, and we had a happy set. We were all a happy family. But when she came on set, it was like a blood transfusion. It was like we all kind of shot up. She had that energy. She walked in with that energy. It's interesting when an actor only has a day or two. She had 2 days, I think. And then the other actors are there for weeks. When this new actor comes, it's like this breath of fresh air.
It can be. It goes one of two ways. It's either a breath of fresh air, or it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I felt like David DeLuise, he had that energy too, right?
He did.
He has such a big heart, and he just loves to tell his stories and talk about food.
Yeah.
He was really enjoyable too.
Son of Dom DeLuise too, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
He brought this father's cookbook on set the first day. He gave us all a copy of the cookbook.
Well, and it's funny too, because the hat that he wears in the film, that's his dad's hat. He brought his dad's hat. He wanted his dad's memory and blood memory with him when he did the part, because it was about food. This film was so his dad.
Absolutely. Yeah. We still miss Dom. He was really one of a kind and so funny. Absolutely. Matter of fact, you mentioned, Lenny Kazan and so many others. Tell us about the others that are part of this production. You've really surrounded yourself. You've Rob, of course, and some other amazing talents that are a part of it, Michelle.
Well, Matthew Daddario, who plays our son, Nico, which is modeled after my real son, Nico. He, is just really what he does. When he comes onto the screen, you're with him and you care for him and you feel for him. And I think what's clear is that a lot of people have had all these trepidations introducing their girlfriend, boyfriend, to the family. Everybody, somehow this is a universal event. And so he really captured that. He really understood it. And of course, I'm this ferocious mother, which I'm nothing like that in real life. I have
of course not.
Because I have two sons.
Truer, yeah.
Yeah, one of which is turning 16 today. One of them has
birthday.
brought a girlfriend. Yeah, thank you. One of them has brought a girlfriend home, but the other one hasn't. But I'll never be like that. Of course, fast forward the clock and I'll be completely like that.
So Max hasn't brought anybody home yet.
Not yet, but Nicholas has.
Nico did, yeah.
Nicholas has. Yeah. And I liked her. That was the good thing. But she was very smart. She kept saying how smart I was and talented I was and beautiful I was. So I thought to myself, oh, you're really smart.
Yeah. Can you invite her over tomorrow for dinner? Right. That is fantastic. We have actually the trailer, which we'll happily show. Did you guys want to preface that at all before we show it to everybody?
No, the trailer doesn't give the movie away. So, we really tried to do a trailer. These days when you see so many movies, the trailers throw the kitchen sink at it.
Right.
I feel like I've seen this movie, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that is not in the trailer because we really didn't want to spoil it, but it gives you an idea of what the movie is. Absolutely, gang. Here it is. You're going to really enjoy this. Take a look. The Italians. And
Be here at 6. Antipasto con burrata, minestrone, focaccia, tiramisu for dessert, and your favorite, meatballs. Just put some pants on and get over here.
I can't find my pants.
I look okay.
Yeah, everything's fine. Hi, Mom. This is my girlfriend, Lily.
Hi.
Angela and I grew up in Little Italy.
We lived across the street from each other.
So what do you do at the Playhouse?
I'm an actress.
How long did you say you were seeing her?
I don't remember exactly.
The eggplant looks absolutely delicious.
You bought the meatball.
Oh, I don't eat meat.
You don't? Oh, what are you, some kind of vegetarian?
The food's getting cold. Let's eat.
I'm sorry. Okay, this is all my fault. All right, my mom has these crazy Italian standards.
Give her a chance.
Oh, please, you just want to eat the meatballs before they get cold.
Yeah, well, that too.
Well, we've been seeing each other for about 9 months.
9 months?
I actually don't go to church.
She's not Italian, okay? She doesn't want children. And now she insults my cooking.
And I love her anyway.
Your mom wants me to disappear.
Talk about the rough first impression.
You don't know the half of it.
So what exactly happens at that dinner? If you thought the first one was bad, whoo.
I want to set him up with Gina.
Crazy Gina.
She's Catholic. She's Italian. She's single.
Gina, what are you doing here?
Her mom invited me.
Mom?
What are you doing here?
I thought I was invited to dinner.
Rimbambita.
Chill, what a surprise.
We'll have dinner, then we'll mom right into the closet after dessert, okay?
This pot roast tastes delightful.
All three of you need to look in the mirror. Learn to commit.
Look me in the eyes and say that you love me.
Learn to accept.
I want a divorce.
Right.
Learn to atone.
Mom put you up to this? Your mother is not talking to me.
Hold the top!
You need to see her again. How about we go over there for dinner?
I hate the meatballs.
We all mess up.
Love her, Mom.
I still don't want kids.
Ever?
Jonah Blackfield was overrated. Everyone cool it.
I also might have resorted to violence at one point.
All right, get out.
Angelina, bring me some popcorn.
Wow.
And there it is.
There it is. And did you see all the accolades at the end there too? Critically acclaimed people are really responding to this, Michelle, huh?
Yeah, I'm happy about it. Well, obviously it's better people like it than don't like it. But yeah, people have liked the movie and we've gotten some really good response. So far, so good. So I'm going to, knock wood and people are watching it. We are exclusively on Amazon right now for a few more weeks. And people are renting it and they're buying it. I'm surprised how many people are buying it, which is great. And then we'll go on Apple and Google Play and Vudu. And then we're scattering some other platforms. But we're trying something and we're doing, a grassroots, marketing so we can find our audience. And
right, exactly.
We're learning, so which is great. But people are responding. People are liking it. And that, of course, makes me happy. And Rob is great in it. He is so funny. He just took risks and just went for it. And he gives a wonderful performance. And you really, I think, embrace the pathos in him, his arc. He talked about the arc that Angelina has, but Vincenzo has a tremendous arc. And he has to grow up and realize something about life and about love. And he does that, the same way.
It's interesting. We do it side by side, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
I can't tell you how, I tried to not when you liked the script and you wanted to do it, and then you knew that I was playing, Angelina. I was on cloud 9. I was really happy that we were going to do this together. I'm in my study and I have pictures of when me and Rob, did the rose tattoo, decades ago. And that was one of the happiest memory that I've had on stage, and playing opposite somebody. And, when you find another actor that you have that creative energy with and that chemistry with, you just want to keep, you want to keep playing. And so grateful we get the chance to do that.
It's tennis. It's like you talked about last week or whatever, but you were talking about acting is largely tennis. And when you find somebody who can play tennis and you play similar games, it's fun because you're always hitting it back and you don't know what's coming back at you. So you got to be on and be on top of your game, which is fun because that's how everybody grows. And that's, I think, a big boon in making this movie was just the freedom for everybody to play. And ultimately the script, it was so easy to digest, not memorize, because memorize has odd connotations, but it just flowed. It made sense. Once you were underneath it, it really worked, which doesn't always happen, you know? So it was fun to have, you know, a month of shooting something that really just kind of flowed for everybody.
Had a great time. I mean, you know, you do all this effort and then you shoot and then it takes a while to put a movie together. You know, it takes the time that it takes. But yeah, you just want to keep doing this exercise because it's about letting go and getting out of your head. And that's why actors sign up for it. And that's why, you know, not everything that I direct, I act in. But if it's the right thing to do, and this was, then it was so much fun. I remember taking a class a zillion years ago with the original artistic director of the Roundabout Theater in New York. His name was Gene Feist. And I remember doing a scene from The Rose Tattoo in his class. I was super young. And he said to me two words. He goes, "You have to have more fun. You have to have fun," he said. And I just looked very perplexed. And I was like, well, what does that mean? What does it mean to have fun? I don't understand. But then I, of course, understood what it meant. And it's to really be able to let go and get out of your head and sign up to play.
I like that. I like that. Sign up to play.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. It looked like there was a lot of playfulness and that you guys really had a tremendous time, just really enjoyed each other's company and everybody played off each other and used their strengths to put it all together. It seems like it was a happy set, which was terrific. Doesn't always work out that way, right?
Oh, it could not have been a happier set. Just across the board. And a lot of it was shot in a house. And so we were all hanging out together and, you know, and we did it at a clip, you know. What did we shoot, Michelle? 9 pages a day?
Yeah, between 7 and 9. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're doing something like that, I mean, you're moving. So everybody's got to be on and ready for the next thing that's going to come up. And we all really helped each other. I love that about Matt. Matt's a great actor. I bet you in the next couple of years, he is gonna do very well. I think great things are coming down the pipe for him. But he was great because he would collaborate, and if he didn't understand something, he would reach out. Or if I didn't, you know, when we had scenes, we'd discuss it, and he'd come up with little switches that really made it hum. And then, you know, for Michelle, the fact that she was in the scenes and directing it, you know, she had the wherewithal with, you know, to be able to say, you know what, this is good. What if we do this as well? So it just, you know, when you have a group like that, it's almost like you want to make movies in company, like theater companies. Yeah, right. Because when you find the right people who are creative, the egos are out the door, and you're building it. You know, that's a great model, I think. You know, and I look at TV right now, they do 9 episodes. And a lot of times, you know, they'll take a group and move them on to something else because it worked so well. And that's what I really appreciate about kind of what Michelle's building. She's building that, you know, and she uses a lot of the same, not just actors, but people behind the camera because they know what they're doing and they're good at it. And they're in it because they're artists. And that's, you know, that's what you want to be around, or that's what I want to be around.
When you hear that, Michelle, said in such a loving way by Rob, who's, you know, been doing this for a long time and continues to master his craft. And you've worked with so many people and coached so many people and you're beloved in the industry too. How does that make you feel? You know, somebody that was immersed in this with you for the ride, saying this in the way that he just did.
Yeah, it just makes me very happy. And I'm sitting on particularly very good news right this minute because I have 2 movies coming up and one big movie. And Rob is going to be in both of them, hopefully, if he says
Cool.
yes.
I love it.
Stay tuned, right?
One of them, a big one, a sci-fi thriller, just got greenlit like literally 10 minutes ago.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm sitting on it. I'm very excited.
See what happens when you come on the Jim Masters show? It's my Irish luck just comes through the screen. It's what it is. That is great.
Really excited. That, I think that, listen, in this lifetime, I wish that for my kids and for everybody that I love and everybody that I'm close to, that people just get to do in this lifetime the thing that they love doing. And so, because it just makes for, a happier life. And then to be grateful for it even makes for a happier life. So I get the chance to do this. And also, aside from this, I also teach, which is also a passion of mine. Right. So I teach and I get to, and then when I get something like the Italians and I go, oh yeah, well, this is something I can do. Then, I take a risk because I feel like everything is a risk. But I was telling this to Rob the other day, but that's it. I mean, at our age, I said, but I did say that, if you don't take risks, you have to. I mean, there's just, you got to do it.
Yeah.
So true.
And you do. The Italians could have so easily never been made, but you stuck to your guns and found the money and made it happen. I thought it was, it's impressive. It's I see a therapist and he said, actually yesterday, he literally said to me, you have to take more risks because I'm not a businessman. As an actor, people cast you. You have an agent, a manager, and they go, oh, well, you're going to do this. But at this point in life, you have to take risks to make things happen. And Michelle has really been the example of that for me, to step out and take risks. And then you build it as it comes. And I think that's how you grow the most as well. So it's a good thing to have.
Advice you would say to anybody who's watching, who's considering, coming into these industries that we're in? I know I've had a lot of people come on the show who've been doing this kind of work for a long time and other things that they do, acting or otherwise. And when it comes to performance or being an entertainer, an actor, a singer, or whatever it is, with the demands of it, I'll ask something along the lines of, what would you say to somebody who's watching, who's considering, who admires you and reveres what you do and wants to step into that world? And a lot of people say, I'm sure you both concur, if you want to do this kind of work, 50% of you wants to be the actor, the actress, the singer, the whatever it may be. But the other half wouldn't mind being an accountant. You might want to go with being the accountant because you really have to be 100% in. It takes all of you physically, emotionally, the time, the effort, the unpredictability, the running around. It really is an all-in thing. And Rob, you've always approached things that way, huh? All in.
I mean, for me, if I was to give that advice to somebody, you're right. Be sure it's what you want to do, because when it's great, it's great. And when it's not, it's very challenging. And even, right now, there's so many people who do TikTok and YouTube, and, I teach as well. And I've worked with some kids who are talented, but they're so worried about their brand. My brand's going to be this, and I want to be on brand. And for me, what I was taught was do the work, really get good, understand the foundation. Why are you doing what you're doing? And if you do the work, if you put in the hard work, the fun will come, because you've done the hard work and then you get to go and play. But I think, there's a generational brick right now, like brick in terms of laying the brickwork for a foundation. And I don't think it's real solid. I don't think worrying about your brand and, thinking that that's going to be enough to propel you, you need more than that. And that's for me. And I know that sounds really old school.
No, but it's true.
But, if you put stuff out there and you haven't done your work, it's not going to resonate with people. And you've already kind of shot your shot. I'm not giving away my shot. I'm not giving away my shot. Sorry, that Hamilton just came into my head. So, do the work and don't give away your shot.
Michelle, I'm sure you agree with all of that, working with so many people as a revered coach. Rob is so spot on. And one of the things too that I've always admired about Rob, and anybody who's put the time in and gone through ups and downs and all the different things that it takes in any of these industries, even the television, radio side for me, is we came up in what is called, which you don't hear so much, maybe in sports still, the farm system. You started out here, and then that happened. You got noticed, maybe in theater or whatever it is, commercials, could be anything. And then people noticed you. And then that was exciting that you got, $10 an hour to do that. And now you're going to get 20 tomorrow. And as you did it and you plugged in and made connections and worked through it all, you got the respect of the industry. You understood how things worked. You paid attention to all the different things that are going on around you, enhanced your skills, made the connections. And some of that is what's missing today. Is it is just make that quick 6-second video, upload it, and then they're a star, book deal, movie, influencing, and all those things, which has its place and uniqueness. But if you come from, the way that it's been done, the way we did it, it's an interesting thing. And what do you say, Michelle, to folks who are, maybe it's a 6-second video they want to just upload and maybe not do some of the other things, or, we got to spend 10 hours on a set. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make a 6-second video and post it. What do you say to those folks, Michelle?
Well, I think Rob really encapsulated it. This question is always asked of me, and I answer differently depending on what's happening. But I think that you have to embrace wanting to do the work. And the work is not a 6-second video. The work is, much more all-encompassing than that. And you got to figure out what it means to do the work, first of all, because it's different for everybody. Not everybody, has the same path. And then you have to be willing to do it. You have to roll up your sleeves and you have to do it. And especially all the times that you don't want to do it. And I can tell you, I feel like I've mastered that for myself because I never want to ever do anything ever. So I can tell
you always do.
Which is amazing, right?
Even now that I just found out, okay, we're going with this movie. Like now, this is it. We got our
now that's on your plate.
We're going, and I just, I go like, oh God, now I have to do the work. Now I have to do it, and I go because it's heavy lifting. I love using that expression, heavy lifting.
Absolutely,
But you know what? Listen, it's rewarding. Heavy lifting is rewarding, and sometimes you just want to scream. I love that poltergeist scream. What's happening? That always plays inside of me. But it's great. You just go and you live, and it's. I don't mean to be depressing, but
no, it's true.
By the Pope dying, and they have this open casket with the Pope, and he was such a vital man, and he gave so much of himself, and and it all ends up there. And anyway, but listen, he lived a good 88 years. Anyway, I'm getting super depressing.
No, it's true. Yeah, a lot of people, it's what they're experiencing, and they had a real love for him and his message, and it's beautiful that you even share that. Are you a planner? Or do you like to work on the fly too? Okay, here this just came in, let's get it done, or both? You like to do both?
I like both. Yeah. I like to be a planner. I like to have a vision board. I have lists inside of me and lists that I write, and then I improvise in the moment.
How about you, Rob?
Well, let's go back to Michelle. Well, Michelle, she's got two sisters that are very different than Michelle is. They all have strengths that are insane strengths. All three of them are so good at what they do, and they make an unbelievable team. So Michelle, I feel like Michelle goes out there and just makes it happen, and it does. And you're like, oh wow, how did that happen? And then she has a sister who comes in, is really good with business and helps Michelle, and they bounce things off each other. Then she has another sister who's very frank and can run a show, can get people to do what they need to do on time. So it's really a good team. Yeah, they're pretty sharp. So they're a force. Three sisters.
Three sisters. I have good sisters. I have really good sisters. They really help me, and we have, we get into it, but also we rally together, and we have a great partnership. As a matter of fact, when my dad passed away over 20 years ago, I said to him in the last moments that he was listening and he was lucid. I said, you can go, because this dream that you have for us to work together and support each other, we will do that. And that ultimately was a wonderful release for him to know that was going to happen. And we did make good on that promise, because that did happen. My sisters are, my rocks. And yeah, it's great.
That's beautiful. It ties into the Italians in terms of just the family, and with all of the things that happen and the dynamics, you really celebrate the family dynamic in such a fantastic way in this, and I think that's truly amazing. For you, Rob, taking on the role of Vincenzo, how do you prepare for a role like that? And you've had such a diverse and continue to have such a diverse career. You've taken on some really terrific roles, several of them quite iconic in many ways. And how do you take on, what's your preparation when you have a role before you, Rob?
It's like Michelle said, it's always different. It depends on the character, what my path is to that character. And for me, it was physical. I needed to find his physicality, and I kind of leaned on a lot of Mangiacavallo from the Rose Tattoo. And then I watched a lot of Italian comedians and just picked up little pieces here and there from them and played with it. And then it was getting my heart in the place of, because I don't come from a big family. I come from a smaller family. We were kind of not uptight. That's the wrong word, but we're not Italian. You know what I mean? Like very different. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of hunted around and found some of that, and people who do have families like that, what their lives are like. Religion obviously had to be a piece of it. So I spent some time finding Vincenzo's relationship with God, and it's not a great relationship. He's trying to find it, and by the end of it, he does have a relationship with it. So just kind of like finding the arc, finding the connection with Matt Daddario, who played my son, like kind of some substitutions that were powerful for that for me. With Michelle, I didn't need a substitution because we'd spent so much time on stage together. That was just kind of there. And actually in the script, we talk about going and seeing Jersey Boys. 20 years ago, we actually went and saw Jersey Boys. So it was like, there were some free built-in things. And that was fun. Made it easier.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember Michelle going to Jersey Boys? That was fun, huh?
I remember. Because Rob had seen it already and he hadn't liked it at one point, but then he liked it that particular night.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, maybe I was not in the place to, it's interesting when you watch something, you have to be in the right place to watch something. So that was fun to go there. I totally remember that night.
That's cool. Great friendship that you guys have had, and a working relationship, which I think is a beautiful thing, because it's an interesting industry and people do projects and they move on, but you guys have kept this friendship, which is really fantastic. For going back to the Italians, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, and they've seen things like The Godfather and The Sopranos and all these other types of things. How do you describe it and any differences, uniquenesses of the Italians?
Well, it wouldn't be like that. It would be more like a Moonstruck or like My Big Greek Wedding. It's more that movie.
Which is great, huh?
Yeah.
And the comedic timing is fantastic as well. You wanted to have some comedic elements in it, right? To keep it light along the way.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like I said, the whole cast was just on board to play with it and just have fun with it. And I think it's translating into our audiences enjoying watching the movie. So hopefully more people are going to watch it, and that will be.
Rob talked about you doing the dual role of directing and acting. Tell us about how you master that and how you're able to do that in this particular fashion with the Italians wearing both hats.
Well, I had some wonderful producers. Brian Drillinger, it's somebody that I've collaborated with for decades. And he was behind, he was on the monitor in Video Village. So was my son, Nicholas, who is an instrumental part of everything that I do these days because he graduated recently from USC studying film and theater. And he works on every project that I'm doing. As a matter of fact, he became a writer on this sci-fi movie, Helios. And, thanks to him, it's getting made because he took it to a whole other place. So he was there also watching. And so I think the only way that you're able to act and to direct is that if you have people that you trust that are watching, that are telling you, you're getting it, it's good, you can move on. Because as we know, time is everything on set. So you have to be able to choreograph and manage, the timeline. But I feel, all these wonderful people that I've had are going to work with us in future productions. And so, we're a creative family.
And that's what it's like, Rob. You felt like you were a part of a family on set working with everybody, right?
Absolutely. That's one of the things I think that has drawn me to theater, especially, and television and film. When you're doing a project, you're with people. If you're doing a good play, it's 6 weeks of every day you're with these people, and they are a family. And then you do the show, right? And it's family. And on Melrose Place, we were together for 5 years, and you're working 15-hour days a lot of the time. So they really are your family. And I like that. I like being with people more than I like being alone, which is, I think, part of what drove me into this business. It feels right to me. It feels creative. It feels like an energy circuit that's working. We were a family on set for sure.
And you mentioned, you've had, and we're going to have Rob back and we'll talk about, more in depth, some of these incredible things in his career, but you have had, some fantastic opportunities to be a part of some amazing franchises, Melrose Place and CSI Miami. How cool is that to be a part of CSI Miami?
It was fun. I was just supposed to do a day, pretty small role. And I was getting wardrobed and the phone rang and they said, "Oh, it's your agent. And, hey, you have to leave." "Why do I have to leave?" "Because they don't want you for this part." And I was like, "Oh," which I thought was bad news.
Yeah, sure.
They want to put you on for a different role, a better role. So it is fun. And that was a fun group. I enjoyed it. I feel like I've been pretty lucky. The majority of things I've done, it's just been good people. And that's a very lucky thing if you're going to spend that much time with people, that you have good people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Of course, Silk Stalkings, that was a terrific franchise. Everybody.
It was. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Huh? That was a hoot doing that, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. Well, no, it was a hoot. And it was like guerrilla warfare. We did it in San Diego, not Miami. We shot, I think we did an episode every 6 days, which is difficult to do. Didn't have a lot of money. and it became a bit of a hit. And it almost ended up on primetime. But Jeff Sagansky, who was running CBS, at the last minute, Stephen Cannell had talked him into putting it on, like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock slot. And in the last minute, he said, "You know what? No, it'll make our network look bad if a network has an association with a cable network." And now, I mean, look at the cable networks. It's the exact opposite of what is true. So that was one of the moments where he could have taken a risk and really been out in front of things. But that's a story for a different day.
Yeah, it's really true. And then, of course, there he is, young Rob. Days of Our Lives. We've had several soap stars on, and one of the things they say, and I'm sure Michelle definitely concurs with this, they say if you can master being on a soap with the amount of shots and scenes and the scripts and everything else, it really prepares you for everything else. It's a great stepping stone just in terms of what you have to do, because there's so many scenes and shots and scenarios, and it's 5 days a week. It's not once a week. The series is on 30 years, 5 days a week. Days of Our Lives, of course, still going strong. It's true, right? If you're on the soaps,
if you're an A storyline, if you're one of the leads on a soap, and you never stop working. I mean, you're home getting the lines for the next day. Over the weekend, you're doing that. My role was not that. I was young then, and I was kind of like the summer romance. So it was more that type of thing. But watching these people work, it was pretty incredible. And it gives you some great stuff. I also think it can give you some tricks, and tricks aren't always great. You know what I mean? It's like, you can find shortcuts through things that in films or in other pieces, you don't want to find shortcuts through. So it's a little of both, and being able to grow, and recognize where you're learning good things and where you might want to tweak it a bit.
Absolutely. Michelle, tell us again where people can see The Italians. And once again, congratulations on this.
Thank you very much. They can see it exclusively for the time being on Amazon. And then it'll go in a few weeks from now, Google Play, Apple TV, and Vudu.
What do you hope people are left with when they watch it? What is it, is there a message? Is there a vibe, a feeling that you hope the audience of all different ages, all different backgrounds, one need not be Italian to watch and enjoy it? What do you hope they're left with in their heart and soul, Michelle?
Unity of family, how our family are, so important to us, and stay with us always.
Good message, right, Rob? It's a really good message. One we need to hear and live daily. You guys are fantastic. This really was a terrific conversation. I know you're busy. You got phones ringing. You got things happening, right?
Jim, thank you. Your questions are great. I really enjoy your show. Your voice just makes me want to be like
something or
have a good voice, and you're so smooth. It's fantastic.
I appreciate it.
I agree.
Came up with that farm system like you guys did, and put the time in and enjoy it. I really enjoy conversing. And when I created the series, I created it as an entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series. So taking a little bit of that Carson and Cavett and Regis and blending it with a modern vibe of today. No prepared questions, all, free flowing, and we're all in it together. Because we could, just for the audience, Rob and Michelle had no idea what I was going to ask. They didn't say, here are the questions, only ask this, only say that. They were here. They wanted to be here, talk about the Italians, a little bit about their backgrounds as well. And it was all what we call not an interview, but a conversation. And when I watch people, I prefer conversations over just scripted interviews. It's just something about it. You guys, thanks for all the generosity of time. Congratulations on the Italians and everything else you're working on. Michelle, always a delight to have you here. The porch line will stay on for you. Come back, see us again with these new projects. Rob, a real blessing to have you here as well. And we'll connect and welcome you back. And we can have a chat about some of the amazing things you're proud of as well. And I hope you two enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with each of you.
Thank you.
I did.
Thank you so much.
The pleasure is mine. Spread the word about our show, and we'll see you guys real soon. And congratulations on all, okay?
Thank you again. Thank you. Bye.
You be well. Take care. Cool stuff, right? Huh? And we're talking about two veterans in the industry, people who really have made their mark, and they're excited to share The Italians, which is this wonderful production. Here we go. Boom. There it is. And she mentioned all the great places where you can see it. It was also cool talking with Rob, who's going to be back with us here on the show. There he is from the days of our live days. And of course, this was so popular. Remember originally on USA Network, he was in Silk Stalkings. Some great conversation. They've known each other for 37 years, Rob and Michelle. Michelle is a revered, not only actress, but director, writer, producer, a renowned acting coach. She has worked with and trained so many. It's a great shot of Rob here as well. And of course, 90210, you may remember Beverly Hills 90210 with Rob on as a terrific contribution to the show. Melrose Place, everybody remembers Rob from Melrose Place too, and the whole cast. CSI Miami, and a lot of other productions too. These are network productions we're talking about here, but Rob, a part of so many great shows, independent projects, and so much more. We mentioned this as well. Beautiful Wedding is another one, more recent. And but The Italians, you got a chance to see a little clip of it as well. Really is something quite special, no matter where your family comes from. Everybody can attest that no matter how much they drive you crazy, at the end of the day, you still love one another. And, most of us can attest, some of us at least, fresh off the impactful period courtroom drama, Miranda's Victim, filmmaker Michelle Dana is bringing us The Italians, the story of the Italian-American Vitale family, consisting of fiery matriarch Angelina, who is Michelle, and her oofish husband, Vincenzo, played by Rob Estes, and their charming son, Nico, who is played by Matthew Daddario. And when Nico brings over his girlfriend, Lily, that's Abigail Breslin, to meet her parents, she's everything Angelina doesn't want in a wife for her son. And the night's humorous events lead to a shocking revelation the next day that threatened to tear both couples apart. Soon everyone in the family and their orbit are drawn into the chaos from the next door neighbor, Min, played by Harry Reeves, and Murray by Lon Blanc, and also Angelina's brother, Sal, by David DeLuise, who is Dom DeLuise's son, mother, Lucia, played by the extraordinary actress Lainie Kazan, as well as Nico's ex-girlfriend, Gina, played by Olivia Lucardi, and the local priest, Father Joe, played by Luca Riema. What unfolds is a hilarious story in which the idiosyncratic ensemble learn to accept each other for who they are. The Italians, a heartfelt comedy about love, forgiveness, and the belief that people can change. Really cool stuff, folks, and a real pleasure to have. And this is a great shot of everybody. And some other photos we've been showing about this brand new, it's hot off the presses, literally, this brand new film. And this is really something. There's a lot of comedy. There's a lot of poignant moments and meaningful moments, comedic moments, dear moments as well. And a real pleasure to have Michelle with us and to have Rob Estes as well. Rob and I were already chatting. We're going to have him back on the show again. And he was excited to be here. Michelle was, and I was very excited to have them both here. And Rob, of course, we've been following his career for a long time. and he's really good at what he does, isn't he? And Michelle is brilliant at what she does as well. And they've known each other all these years. They've all these other great talents and writers and so many others who have been a part of this production. Amazing. And yeah, this was cool. Loved having this episode designed for you. If you enjoy what we're doing here, certainly let us know. Spread the word about the Jim Masters Show Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show series, bringing back that lost art of conversation with extraordinary guests from all different backgrounds, celebrity friends, special guests joining us. If this was your first time checking out JMS, the Jim Masters Show series, welcome to the show. Good to have you with us, part of the family. You can also follow us on the socials, on Facebook and X, and also Instagram at Jim Masters TV as well. And if you like what you're watching, come see us again. And don't forget, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, a couple thousand and growing episodes of the Jim Masters Show series, all archived on the YouTube channel. You can check those out. It was really, really cool to have the two here today. Our great new friends. Well, Michelle's been with us before. You can see that episode archive. First time Rob Estes joined us here on JMS. Thanks to Rob, thanks to Michelle, and their generosity of time. One more time, there it is, The Italians. Check it out, folks. You're going to love it. Poignant moments, endearing moments, and also a lot of comedic moments as well. If you enjoyed this episode of the Jim Masters Show series, a little favor. Help us continue to grow and reach more people. Give this episode a thumbs up like on the YouTube channel. Share the episode on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. It doesn't cost anything. Just click the subscribe button and leave a comment for us below. Let us know what you enjoyed about this episode and about all the shows that we create and produce here for you here at JMS. Thanks again to Rob and, of course, to Michelle. And thanks to you for watching and hopefully subscribing, supporting, sharing, and raving about what we're doing here. I'm your host, Jim Masters. Thanks for being with us. Don't forget to love one another. Take care of one another. Some of the message that's in The Italians is that love and support and getting along and coming together, not always agreeing all the time, but still coming to the table, having those meatballs, having that dinner, and sharing the love, or as we call it, love and levity together here at JMS, levity, in whatever way, shape, or form. And you'll always find that here on JMS. So come see us again and spread the word. This is your host, Jim Masters. Once again, thanking you for your time this time till next time. And we'll keep the porch light on for you as well. Spread the word about our show. And we absolutely love having you here. For all of us, take care and be well. Thanks for joining us on this episode. And I'll be right here waiting for you on the Jim Masters Show. See you soon. Cheers.